अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शिलप्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवी सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीमुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। Midrash Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. We are reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, third canto, chapter number 14. In this chapter, the pregnancy of Diti is mentioned, and this is at a time in the evening when Kashyapa Muni was doing the tapasya, and the resultant was the birth of a demoniac personality, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So the birth of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu is described in this chapter, how they were born, how demoniac people, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were given birth by Diti and her husband Kashyapa Muni. Kashyapa Muni was a great yogi, Brahmana, and he was one of the Prajapati actually. Prajapati is the son of Lord Brahma, whose responsibility is to give rise to the population on the planet. So one time, Kashyapa Muni was doing meditation, and one of his wives, her name is Diti, who is also a daughter of Prajapati Daksha, approached Kashyapa Muni, and she had no children, so she asked Kashyapa Muni to give her a child. So Kashyapa Muni told Diti that this is not the proper time. Evening time is when Lord Shiva is traveling with his ganas. And Kashyapa Muni was also a devotee of Lord Shiva. So if you have a union at the time of evening when Shivji is traveling, then Shivji may become angry. But Diti was affected with the lusty desires, and Kashyapa Muni surrendered to her desire. But then later on, Diti realized that she has done a mistake by having the union with her husband at an inappropriate time. So then Diti started praying to Lord Shiva and requested Lord Shiva that he bless her and maintain her pregnancy, that Lord Shiva does not punish her womb, her children in the womb at the time of her conceiving the child, because she had offended Lord Shiva. So in the previous 3-4 shlokas, we learned how Diti is praying to Lord Shiva, and she is praying to Lord Shivji that you are a great, your name is Ashutosh, and your name is Rudra also. Lord Shiva has two names, Ashutosh and Rudra. So you are Rudra, you become angry very quickly. At the same time, you are also pacified. You become also compassionate towards the living entities also equally. So I request you that you become compassionate towards me. So here in this shloka, Diti is praying to Lord Shiva. Namo Rudraya Mahate Devayograya Midhushe Shivaya Nyastadandaya Dritadandaya Manyave. Diti is saying, let me offer my obeisances unto angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all the material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. So here Diti is describing some of the glorification of Lord Shiva. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Diti prayed for the mercy of Lord Shiva very cleverly. She prayed, Lord Shiva can cause me to cry, but if he likes, he can Stop my crying, because he is Ashutosh. He is so great that if he likes, he can immediately destroy my pregnancy. But by his mercy, he can also fulfill my desire that my pregnancy be not spoiled. So here she is saying that Lord Shivji may bless her. Because Lord Shiva is all auspicious, it is not difficult for him to excuse me for being punished, although he is now ready to punish me because I have moved his great anger. He appears like a man, but he is the Lord of all the man. So here she is saying that Lord Shiva, even though I have made an offense against you, please forgive me. Further, Diti is praying to Lord Shiva. स न प्रसीदतां भामो भगवान् उर्वनुग्रह व्याजस्य अनुकम्पायानां स्त्रीणां देव सतीपतिः. Here Diti is saying to Lord Shiva, let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. Actually, Diti was sister of Sati. There were 14 children of Prajapati Daksha, and the last one was Sati was married to Lord Shiva, while all other 13 married to Kashyapa Rishi. So here Diti is saying that Lord Shiva is his brother-in-law. He is also worshipable of all the women. He is personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by uncivilized hunters. So, Lord Shiva, you are very merciful. You are husband of my sister, so please forgive me. This is Sati's Diti is saying to Lord Shiva. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada ji explains Lord Shiva is the husband of Sati, one of the sisters of Diti. Diti invoked the pleasure of her sister Sati so that Sati would request her husband to excuse her. Besides that, Lord Shiva is worshipable Lord of all the women. Actually, women worship Lord Shiva. If you want a good husband, they worship Lord Shiva actually. So he is naturally very kind towards women, on whom even the uncivilized hunters also show their mercy. Since Lord Shiva, he is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously Diti's unavoidable offense, which occurred due to her faulty nature. So she is also requesting her sister also that please help us. So, all the girls are supposed to be devotees of Lord Shiva. Diti remembered her childhood worship of Lord Shiva and begged his mercy. So yes, Diti is praying to Lord Shiva that please bless me. Now Maitreya Rishi is telling this katha, this pastime of Kashyapa Muni and Diti to Vidurji. So Maitreya says, Maitreya Vacha Swasargayasya Shisham Lokyam Asasannanam Pravepatim Nivritta Sandhya Niyamo Bharyam Aha Prajapati. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyapa thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of the fear that her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. So now Diti is also scared of the husband because her husband was also disturbed in his routine prayers by her. So Diti now is also scared, and now her husband Kashyapa Muni is going to say something to Diti. Kashyapa Vacha Aprayatad Atmanaste Doshan Mahurtikad Uta Manani Nideshati Charena Devanam Chatihelana. The Kashyapa Muni said, because of your mind being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my directions, and because of your being apathetic to demigods, everything was inauspicious. So the whole thing was inauspicious because the mind was polluted with the lusty desire. The time was not appropriate. It was the evening time when Devi Devatas are traveling, Lord Shiva is traveling. And even after Kashyapa Muni telling his wife did not listen to him. So this was all offense, offense. All the time there was offense. So purport Srila Prabhupada ji is saying, conditions for having a good progeny in the society are that the husband should be disciplined in the religious and regulative principles, and wife should be faithful. So this is a very important thing. This is what is sometimes missing in the society. That if you really want to have good progeny, children, then there is a sanskar vidhi. Sanskara is the process by which you cultivate certain good qualities. And one of the sanskaras is that religiousness, for following the regulative principles, and faithfulness between husband and wife relationship. All these are very important. In Bhagavad Gita 7.11, it is said that the union according to religious principle is a representation of Krishna consciousness. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that here is a shloka that balam balvataham chaham kama raga vivarjita dharma aviruddha so bhuteshu kamosmi bharatavarshabha. So Lord Krishna is saying that he is representation of this, but that should be according to religious principles. Before engaging in such union, both the husband and wife must consider their mental condition, the particular time, the husband's direction, and obedience to the demigods. So there is a sanskara called Garbhadan sanskara. According to Vedic society, there is a suitable auspicious time for such union, which is at the time called as Garbhadan sanskara. Diti neglected all the principles of spiritual injunctions, and therefore, although she was very anxious for having auspicious children, she was informed that her children would not be worthy to be the sons of Brahmanas. Kashyapa Muni said this to Diti, that you did not obey the rules and regulations. If you don't obey the rules and regulations, we are going to get punished. Everything has to be done at a proper time, place, and circumstances. There is a clear indication herein that Brahmana's son is not always a Brahmana. You see, this is very important actually. That Kashyapa Muni was Brahmana, but his son, where Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu become the greatest of the great demons. So the principle here is that Brahmana is not by birth, Brahmana is by the qualities. Brahma Janati Brahmana. And this is a misunderstanding among many of us that people think that they are born in a higher family. A doctor's son cannot be a doctor unless he is qualified. A lawyer's son cannot be a lawyer unless he is qualified. Similarly, it is very important that you don't call yourself so and so unless until you have a qualifications. Personalities like Ravan and Hiranyakashipu were actually born of Brahmanas, but they were not accepted as Brahmanas because of their fathers did not follow the regulative principles for their birth. You see that? Another example of Ravana. Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were demons. They were children of Brahmana. But Ravana also was son of Brahmana. But the fathers, their father did not follow the regulative principles of their birth. You see that? It was not only the fault with the children, but it was the problem with the process how they give the birth. Such children are called demons or rakshasas. There are only one or two rakshasas in the previous ages due to negligence of disciplinary methods. But in the age of Kali, there is no discipline. And how then can be expected to be good children? Certainly, unwanted children cannot be source of happiness in the society. And this is the main reason for the whole society's downgrade. That the parents, they do not follow the process of giving birth to the children. This is a very, very important principle Prabhupada is explaining here, that we must follow the sanskaras, otherwise the children will not have good qualities. But though through Krishna consciousness movement, they can be raised to a human culture standard by chanting the holy name of the Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. Hare. So such children who are born without proper qualifications by the parents, by the proper they are born without any proper Garbhadan sanskar. They can be cultivated into Krishna consciousness by regular chanting of the Mahamantra. And this is the unique contribution of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the human society. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made this available to all of us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful and he make it available to everybody and anybody. So with that, we'll pause here and we'll continue our study of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam tomorrow. Randraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.